visionary, revolutionary. I'm a visionary, revolutionary.
What's going on, WBPTV family? It's your boy, KB the Mark, and you know we do it for the family. Because as I've been preaching here, and Salamander being the absolute grade A hater that he is, everything that we do it for the family. But I'm here with none other than two of my favorite people in the world. First off, my stupendous, marvelous co-host, Camille Salamander. And of course, if you guys remember, B-Rax, he was with us on our random topics that was on Spotify. I'm here with both of these two fantastic gentlemen today, and we have a great discussion for you. But as always, starting off with B-Rax first, since he is the guest. B-Rax, how you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. How you fellas doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's always a great day to sit here and talk wrestling with you two gentlemen. Camille Salamander, how you doing?
I'm doing McMarvelous.
That's what I like to hear. Salamander, our bet is still on for SummerSlam, and if you lose, you will have to get in tune with the family.
Wait a minute, what's this bet?
Oh, well, Camille Salamander and I've been holding this championship of ours and predictions, and I've been holding it for going on, I want to say, the better part of a year, and he's had time after time after time to win it. But I'm me being the fighting champion I am, great champion am I. I decided to give him one more chance. And if he loses, B-Rax, he has to get in tune with the family. Because everything that we do here in WBPTV, we do it for the family.
I be fucking up. I be second guessing myself too much.
That's not it. He just doesn't want to get in tune with the family. But that's a topic for another day. We're here to talk about something that set the wrestling world, the IWC, on fire, even though me and Salamander have alluded to the IWC as being the scumbags of the earth. The trash bags, the dollar store trash bags of the earth. But Andrew Zarian broke the wrestling world yesterday with a tweet stating that starting July 18th, Raw would be moving from PG to TV-14, but then later cleared it up by saying that that July 18th isn't the true starting date. WWE is having second thoughts about this. They want to make sure that this is the right decision before they jump into it. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, what do you guys think? I'll start with you, B-Rax. What do you think about Monday Night Raw going TV-14, finally stepping out of that PG era?
Thought long and hard about it. I think it's a good direction to go in, to get ratings up, maybe get people butts back in the seat. And get old heads to maybe watch it again. But I'm gonna go into it deeper, but I'm gonna just lay this right here. Yeah, it could be good, it could be bad. But one thing that I got a problem with still is the writing, and I'm gonna just leave it right there. You could have all of the chair shots and blood and cussing that you want, but is the writing gonna be any good?
Salamander?
I agree with you with the writing. But I mean, I think it gives a chance for it to be like a clean slate for everything that they did within like the last 10 years. So it gives a chance for WWE to rewrite itself. I think they really noticed what the competition is doing over there at AEW. And they're seeing that it's working for them. So they're seeing why not. They seen that they are like most of their fan base that they started with the PG era. They are becoming teenagers now, so they want more edgy content. So why not? I mean, we all can agree that the best wrestling was when they was TV-14. I mean, some great things happened in the PG era. Don't get me wrong, but I pretty much would. I'm getting tired of all these kiddie gimmicks, and let's be honest, the New Day would never happen in TV-14. That was a strictly kid gimmick shit.
No, and very true there. So I'm definitely going to give you that. I am with B Rags, but I'm a little bit with you as well, Salamander. And we're going to discuss creative in a minute because that was going to be my next topic. But I'm really stuck in the middle. I think it could be good, but at the same time, I mean, you're making the most money you've ever made right now in WWE. So honestly, because you know the difference between WWE and AEW is that WWE is globally traded. So yeah, the product kind of matters, but all that matters is the money, because the money is going to fuel everything else. I mean, you're pulling in $1 billion from Peacock, you know, another millions from USA. You got Fox, billions of dollars. So I think it's not the right time. I don't think WWE needs to try to imitate anything AEW does, because we're going to see if Tony Khan wants to grow AEW to the size of WWE, he's going to have to go and do the same thing that Vince did. Eventually, that blood and gore is going to slowly trickle out. And AEW is going to have their own type of PG era, where there's going to be less blood, there's going to be less gore, there's going to be less cussing. Then we're going to see how great AEW is. Yeah, AEW is great now because WWE, they're not doing blood, they're barely doing cussing. And that's what makes AEW the cool kids. But eventually, the cool kids grow up. And what do they have after they grow up? Well, they don't have too much of anything. So that's the future that I want to see, how AEW maneuvers through that future. But as of right now, I don't think WWE needs to go TV-14. Honestly, I think they need to stay PG, continue making the money, because the kids, like when you watch an AEW product, you don't see kids. You don't see kids when you watch an AEW product. You know where you do see kids? WWE. You know why parents bring their kids to WWE shows? Because it's family friendly. You can go there and have a great time as a family. And that's sales. You can sell family to the cows come home. You can't sell that in AEW. And a lot of times, you know, that's how you get the bigger sponsors, through family. I mean, there's nothing better than wholesome family content. That's just what I think.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I can agree with you. But I mean, for all the like B-Rag said earlier, if they go TV-14 and the story is right, they can bring back a lot of older fans. So if they bring back the older fans and maintain the fans they have now, the money that they already making, they can double that shit. Like, it could double a lot. They already pulling like 1.4, 1.5, 1.8 on Raw. They can double that. They can go to 2 pushing 3 like it was in the early 2000s. They on Fox on SmackDown. That's already pulling 2.3. It could double if they can maintain what they have now, plus get back some of the old fans back. The PG era, the kids that started the PG era, they getting older now. So you want to maintain that fan base and keep up with the people who grew up with the wrestlers that they're seeing now, who's taking over, who's the future of WWE. Then you also want to get some of the fans back, the people who stopped watching because the Undertakers and the Triple H's stopped wrestling. So you want them to say, like, because everybody who you ask who watch wrestling, they be like, man, what game do you like to play? I'm like, yeah, I like to play WWE. Oh yeah, I used to play that when Jeff Hardy and they started naming all these old people. So most of them stopped watching because it went PG, and then some of the older people stopped wrestling, but they retired. So if you can get some of them people back, because everybody says it's not the same anymore, it's too kiddie and all that stuff like that. So you can get some of them people back. It will make them more money that they already have, that they already making now. I think, out of everybody in wrestling, because you think about it, yeah, it benefits WWE to a point with the family stuff, but wrestling is really not a family oriented sport. Period. Every promotion does their own thing, so it's like WWE benefits to a point with the family thing, but I think they could benefit more if they go back to their roots.
Okay, go ahead, B-Rex.
All right, man. I totally agree with you on that. Because the way, and let me say this, because I believe, like, I'm gonna just say this, like, with the blood, and I'm gonna just say in today's time too, a lot has changed since the '90s. We're in a new time. We're in a new time with how children are growing up too, and if they go back to PG-14, wrestling won't be the only gory thing or scary thing or bloody thing that children see. They see this stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we still in this soft era of wrestling now? I believe it needs a change. Not only to bring in the old heads, but I believe that the children won't stop watching because of it. And I don't believe that the parents really are going to turn it off because of it. I really don't. Because if that's the case, why all these young kids know every freaking rap song on there? They know every cuss word in the song. And the parents ain't turning that off. So I believe we're just in a new time. And I believe that it is time for a change. And like you said, people that was back in the day, they used to watch it. They said they used to watch it because of the old superstars and how they used to wrestle back in the day. Well, I believe the era now, the family era, it made wrestling go soft. It made people believe or say more so like, hey, wrestling is fake now. That's why I don't watch it. The storylines are trash now. That's why I don't watch it. It's nothing to bring the adults in. It's just like taking your kids to the circus now, and the adults really not even that involved in it because it's not entertaining no more. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Well, I would just want to argue devil's advocate because you both are sitting here saying that it can go TV-14 and that'll keep the parents still around, but that I think that we're speaking for a niche audience, because if the really great parents, and I don't want to say really great parents because I don't really know, but there are those parents who are going to sit there and be like, man, I don't want my kids watching this because it's too much blood. I'm not going to have my 9-year-old kid watching this blood sport. I'm not going to have my 10-year-old kid watching somebody bleed. I'm not going to do that. Now, when they hit ages 14, 15, yeah, I'll let that slide. But I feel like they're going to lose out on a lot of money moving to TV-14 because I do believe there are going to be that group of parents who don't want their kids watching that. They don't want their kids watching people cuss back and forth. And don't get me wrong, as much as I love AEW, I get tired of hearing shit. Damn. They don't really use the F word, but I get tired of that. A lot of people contribute people who curse as to not having a great vocabulary. They don't know any better. They can't come up with better words to say. So they just use curse words. I feel like WWE is going to lose out on a lot of money off families who don't want their kids to be around that.
That comes with the territory. Like, as well, like with any move WWE makes, they're going to lose their audience, whether if they go PG, TV-14, or rated R, they're going to lose that. They're going to lose some type of audience. When they went to PG, they lost audience. They lost say most of their audience. Now they're going to TV-14, they're gonna lose that kid audience because of course you don't want no 5-year-old watching that. And if they're gonna go back doing how they did in 2006, women's half dressed, so forth and so forth. It's just gonna come with the territory. But if you think about it, everything nowadays it got that. Like you taking TV sense. Back in the 90s, everything was more family oriented. You was going for TV shows that was about family, building stuff up, so forth and so forth. And then in the early 2000s, guess what? The teenagers start taking over. So then they start canceling them family shows. They start bringing us more TV show based and reality shows because that's what the kids want to see. This is things to think about it. Just like what B-Rack said with the music, that's a huge influence right now within kids. So why not? They're gonna be up with the trends, how everything was back in the early 2000s. Like all the wrestlers was hip. You seen wrestlers come out with Jordans and John Cena wearing jerseys and stuff like that. So everything gonna be more hip, and just like in any sport, if you see the aftermaths of how they be doing the interviews and stuff, if you see the players cussing or whatever, it's gonna draw that attention that you want. So Roman Reigns cutting a promo and he just drop a F-bomb or a S-bomb or something like that, that's gonna bring in clicks and stuff. It comes with it. You go no matter what move you make, you gonna lose that select audience and stuff. Just like just with anything, just like if one TV channel show too much of, like, I'm gonna use the CMT. They bring in a different type of audience than BET do because of the shows that they play. So if BET starts showing more shows that will attract more people who watch CMT, they're gonna lose a certain amount of audience. It comes with whatever route they go. So just no matter what industry it is, whatever direction you're going, you're gonna lose some type of stuff. But I mean, sometimes you gotta spend money to make money. So they might spend a little bit more money to attract the audience that they're going for, but it's gonna make them more money at the end of the day.
Okay, go ahead, B-Rex.
I definitely want to bring up BET too. BET has changed a lot. I don't know if y'all remember BET After Dark, but
yes,
when did that come on? After Dark. Now we got shows on BET where we usually come on after dark. Now it's coming on in midday or all day, and you seeing everything. They showing breasts, they having sex, they doing whatever. And now you got the LGBT, and whatever else, how many ever letters. But anyway, they got that now. That's big now. So kids are exploring and experiencing all this different kind of stuff, sex, drugs, money. They know all that just by watching these shows like MTV. Females watch wrestling, but MTV got these reality shows where they're fighting, they're cussing, the Bad Girls Club, all this stuff, but ain't nobody turning that off. So now we're gonna criticize wrestling, who's been doing it for years, and say that, oh no, you can't watch that content. Well, turn that other stuff off too.
No, and you make a very valid point. So before and I'm glad you brought up the women's division because that's where I'm gonna go to next. But this is just a yes or no question for both of you guys. No need to go into explanations. Is WWE Going TV-14? Is this to bring MJF in?
No.
No. B-Rex?
No.
Okay. Speaking of the women's division, what does the women's division look like in this TV-14 where we still have the same creative?
Hopefully it's not the Divas era.
Agreed.
That's it. Hopefully they really wrestle and storylines is good and they just don't use them as a sex symbol. That's what I hope for.
B-Rex?
I agree. The same thing. Don't go back to the bra and panties matches and fighting in the dang on mud and pools and things like that. We don't want to see that. We still want to see them wrestle, but make something interesting out of it.
Yeah, like I see why not. Today is 2022. I don't see why every other week a women's match shouldn't be the main event of Raw or SmackDown, especially if the storyline is there. I don't see Reigns can't open up a SmackDown and a Bayley can't close the shit.
Yeah.
Well, my bigger problem with the women's division, at least in WWE, because AEW's women's division is nowhere where it should be. And that's me being an unbiased AEW fan. It's nowhere close to where it should be. There's really only like 3 stars there. There should really be a division of at least 6 stars, and everybody else is working their way up. They're nowhere where they need to be. The writing's awful. But going back to WWE's women,
and that's Jay Cargill.
I mean, they got like 3, including Jay Cargill. But going back to this WWE women's division, with my problem here with it going TV-14 is that, like you guys said, the bra and panties, I fear that's coming back. The wrestling in the mud, I fear that's coming back. But the problem that I really have, that we're even seeing it now, even when it's still in PG, but I feel it's going to be intensified when they go TV-14, is that these women get in here and they're having their promo battle and they're going back and forth, and then at the end you're going to hear, well, you're a bitch.
Of course.
And of course the crowd's going to, ooh, she called her a bitch.
That's common.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. And that's the problem. Why can't I have an actual women's rivalry, grow, evolve without needing the word bitch in there? Like, I don't know why Vince McMahon and the creative writing team thinks that I want to hear a woman call another woman a bitch. Like, that's not what I want to hear. I want to see something along the lines of, yeah, hey, you beat me 2 years ago. I never got my chance. I've been fighting my way up the mountain. I've fallen a couple of times, but I'm finally here and I'm trying to get this opportunity. Instead of, no, you're a bitch. Oh, smack. Up, now there's the feud. Because that's how it is.
I just thought about this, and I think we overlooking this whole situation. So, it's 2022, right? Yeah. Vince McMahon, he damn near out of there. He hanging on by his pinky toes.
I don't think so. He's coming out every week and getting babyface reactions.
He's just doing it because right now, I believe he realized that controversy sells. So as long as he's on TV, the viewers are gonna come in because we tuning in. Even though he's not gonna say nothing, he's just gonna be, welcome to Monday Night Raw, welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. That's all he's gonna do. But it's just the fact that we geeking and we thinking he's gonna say something that we are tuning in. So until that moment comes where he has to leave, because it's 2022, we got people who, like, Papa John's created that shit and he said the N-word and he left his company. He's not even have no ownership in it no more. It's gonna happen. It's a different time of age. People ain't going for that shit. I mean, it's not, if you're a wrestling fan, you've been following WWE, you're not surprised when this shit came out. But it's like, if it is what it came out like 2012 or some shit like that, yeah, he would have got away with that shit. But it's 2022 now. He's not going to get away with it. He's going to leave eventually. But with them going with TV-14 with the women's division and everything, none of that shit is going to fly if they try to bring back the Divas division with the bra and panties matches, with this women empowerment movement, the LGBTQ movement, all that shit. They's not going for none of that shit. So the moment though they try to bring back some of that shit that they did in the early 2000s, they're going to get canceled. So I was like, we're going to get better wrestling. That's why I feel like this is going to lead to. This is going to lead to better wrestling, better storylines and stuff. Because with the PG, you can only take storylines a certain way. Like that storyline with Bobby Lashley, Rusev, and Lana, that was pushing it for it to be PG. But for them to get the proper storylines that they need and that they are trying to reach, you have to make that transition. And I think they are realizing that now. Like, yeah, we made profits. We made the most money we ever made, but we are losing our fan base. We are losing this. So most people, Peacock probably got got more viewerships of WWE product than Raw, SmackDown bring in on a weekly basis. Why? Because they have that retro content. If you want to watch some wrestling stuff, you're not trying to watch the stuff that's on TV now. You're gonna tune in. You're gonna pop on Raw or SmackDown from the '90s or the early 2000s or whatever and watch that. So if they bringing that back, and they probably hitting the nail on the coffin and realizing like this is what we need to do. Especially if this stuff going on, Vince McMahon, yeah, he probably had a creative and everything for the shows, but since they said Triple H is back, they never clarified what role he's back in, so it's no telling who's making these moves. Stephanie McMahon, she's the chairwoman as of right now, so they probably low key making these moves, and because they probably already got an understanding like, all right, this is what's going to happen. And Vince probably like, I'm just gonna ride it till the wheels fall off and stuff. Like, I'm gonna keep showing up and doing what I gotta do until I can't no more. And I think that's what's gonna happen. Like, the moment it gets to the point where he's like messing up the company from being there and he has to officially step down and retire, I think this is gonna keep happening, but they're making other moves like behind the scenes and stuff. I just feel like this is gonna be a change. This is a start for WWE to start over and just continue going up from there.
Okay. B-Rex, what do you think about Vince McMahon?
I think it's time for Vince to sit down. I think it's been time for him to sit down. I believe he's still stuck in the past, and with him having control over everything, still over creative and all that. That's probably why the writing also haven't been up to par. So I believe like if he leave and Triple H can have reign and do what he did with NXT. While he was running it, I believe that because I was watching it, like with Keith Lee and all that, like there was some good matches, man. I was in, tuned in watching. It was some good storyline, and then it just fell off. Like I don't even know when it come on or if it come on anymore. But yeah, so I just believe Vince needs to go. They need to get some new creative in there, and hopefully, he see it. I don't know. I mean, it seemed like he's stuck in his ways. But I just think that he needs to just maybe step back for a minute and see what they can do. Just do that for us. Step back for a year and then see what happens.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that. I like that. That way he's not feeling like he's got to completely step away. It's just a trial run. Who's to say Triple H gets it tanks, and then Vince is like, see, it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
My next question for you guys before we get into the male portion of TV-14, who leads this women's division as the top face and the top heel for the TV-14 era? I think it's a great question. I think it's a great question because I think all three of us might be.
Know the answer, KB. We all know the answer. It's only one answer to that shit. It could either be face or heel. It's one person. That's Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Imagine the storylines we would get with a TV-14 Charlotte. I can tell you exactly what's gonna happen.
Becky beats Bianca. Charlotte comes to Raw, says you threw our friendship down the drain because you wanted power. You wanted to be the top dog, and you're a bitch for that.
And it's gonna bring viewership.
No, it's not. That's the problem. Charlotte Flair is a problem. And I say that as a Charlotte Flair fan. That's the problem. She's a problem. She's been in the spotlight too much. Let's give a spotlight to some of these other women who are working their ass off. Dana Brooke has been carrying the 24/7 bullshit that should have been burned, destroyed years ago. But Dana Brooke just beat Becky Lynch. Let's give a spotlight to Dana Brooke. Let's give a spotlight, even though she messed up, but I blame creative. Let's give a spotlight to Nikki Ashtray.
No. The person that deserves a spotlight is getting it right now on SmackDown. She's the only person that.
How?
Besides
they messed that up.
Besides any of the top women like the Charlottes, the Sasha, the Bailey, and the Beckys and the Biancas, the person that they are currently pushing on SmackDown is getting it. I reported 2 days ago that the pops that she getting now is the loudest that it's ever been. So the plans might change. They might decide to keep the title on her a little bit longer because they probably didn't expect for her to get this popular. Like, she's leading the merchandise sales right now, and all the house shows that shit go through the roof with her music hit.
Bro, she should have beat Becky Lynch.
Like, that's the honest build up that they be building up for a few years now. She's the only one that actually deserves what she's getting right now. Yes, they could have did it a while ago, but hey, I'd rather for it to happen now than never.
Listen, wrestling isn't real. It's predetermined. She should have beat Becky Lynch. This isn't real life where, B-Rags, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this. Wrestling isn't like real life where, let's just say we're talking about boxing and he the challenger who's been on the come up for about a year and a half, he loses to the champion. But let's just say it was a split decision. So then they run it back. And then he wins there. Like, it's going to mean something in boxing. But in wrestling, that really doesn't mean shit because technically she should have beat Becky Lynch at day one. They decided to run it 2 weeks early and then decided to rerun it at day one. And she didn't beat her there. But yeah, hey, let's just give her Money in the Bank so she can cash in on Ronda Rousey.
If the story
she should have beat Becky Lynch,
anything believable. They're gonna trust me. They're gonna replay that, and then it's gonna come because the story can make sense if they would have held off and did it on day one, and then Liv Morgan would have won. Yeah, that would be the story. But what else is a better story than her keep getting close to the title, keep losing. She won it this way, so it's kind of like, did you really deserve it? Anybody who win the Money in the Bank is always the question of that title reign. Did you really deserve it? Because basically you came in after the match after they competed already. So then she gonna get that first opponent that gonna really give her a run for her money. They might suck around and do Becky Lynch, and then when she finally pick up the clean pinfall over Becky Lynch, that's gonna be the story. That's gonna be the big story picture right there. Yeah, she should have won 2 years ago, but I'd rather see this come up story of how she studied the game. She realized she countered the moves that she hit. She countered the manhandle slam and stuff like that because she didn't counter it the first time that it came around. So it's like she went back and did she basically went back and watched tape and watched film and everything and did her study. So then that's the bigger story. That's the bigger picture. Just like when they circle that back around, she lost at SummerSlam, but when they replay that at WrestleMania, that was the bigger story.
I don't want to lose her
right now, but the bigger story pays off. Long-term booking.
First off, WWE doesn't do long-term booking. Stop it. Second off, I don't want to lose her as champion. B-Rags, who's going to lead this women's division in this TV-14?
I would like to be honest. I love Bianca Belair, but I would like to see Rhea Ripley do it.
Yes.
Even though she's inactive right now, she's a really good choice. I think they need to push her to be more gritty and She's bigger than most of the women. Like she needs to be like that strong type, overpowering type of woman. You know what I'm saying? I think she can do it. She already got the look. She has the moveset. I think she can definitely do it.
She need to be the women's Drew McIntyre, basically.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I like that. I like that too. Especially turning her into like you guys said, the female Drew McIntyre. I want her to become more vicious in this TV-14.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want her to. I would honestly like to see her win matches via knockout, where maybe she's just like, just banging their heads into the mat, and she just knocks them out cold. And she goes on a streak like that. But go ahead.
They go TV-14. Did Nia Jax come back?
No.
I would have her come back and book her like Umaga. Yeah.
With a manager.
Like you could do that, but just how Umaga, when he was like, he tore through competition. Like he was heavily protected. He was heavily protected when he came in. Like, but they can do a gimmick change. She ain't got to be Nia Jax anymore. She could come in and do a gimmick change and look like a total different character and do it that way too.
I like that. I like that a lot. We're going to get into the men's side of this TV-14. Now, I'm pretty sure we all can agree on who's going to be the star of WWE Going TV-14 on the men's side.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we all agree on the star.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Almighty.
Wrong. Not even close.
It is Almighty.
No, it's not. It's gonna be the guy who ended racism.
The Almighty.
No.
Of course it's gonna be. Of course it's gonna be Cody Rhodes. Of course it's gonna be Cody. I can see it now. He wins the Royal Rumble. He fights whoever's the undisputed champion. Now that they're TV-14, he can bleed. Can't you see him at next year's WrestleMania holding both belts, bleeding, crying, looking up at the sky, saying it was for you, Dad. It was all for Dusty. Can you imagine the promo on the night after Mania? He drops down to both knees and say, "I did it for you, Dad. I did it for Dusty."
And then he put him in a hurt lock. It said, "Cry to your daddy now."
So B-Rags, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think the men's division in this, what do you think the men's division in this TV-14 is going to look like?
It would have to be a lot of character change, because again they so used to being in PG. I mean, this era of softness, that, and I don't think it'll be a hard change. I just think it needs to be a lot of character change. But I think Bobby Lashley will definitely be one that's like the Brock Lesnar of this generation. Even though Brock Lesnar is here right now, I just think he's on the level of Brock Lesnar. He can be on the level of Brock Lesnar. If not, he is now. Let me see. And then to be honest, and I guess it's biased, but my boy Randy, man, he definitely would be top tier in this kind of, because when that man go crazy, he go crazy. He goes nuts, man. And then I don't know if we just doing old people or new people, but if they book him right, because they've been switching him back and forth. But Edge, if his crazy come out, he definitely can be another one. But also working him with younger superstars too, and creating that story. Him, maybe AJ Styles again, something like that.
I like that. Salamander?
The Almighty. But realistically, I believe like this will be different for like the women's. Like the women's, we can pinpoint one star that's gonna stand out and be like the face.
Right.
But for the men's, it's gonna be multiple people.
Yes.
I don't think it's just gonna be by like down to one person. It's gonna be multiple. Like, of course, you know, the Roman whenever he comes back and whatever time for time he on TV, he's gonna stand out. The AJ Styles is gonna stand out. Bobby's gonna stand out. I believe the breakout star is really gonna be Austin Theory. I think this time they're gonna get it right because he is the chosen one. I think this time they're gonna get it right. They fell with Drew McIntyre. He had to leave and make a name for himself and come back. I think they're gonna get it right this time. I believe the breakout star, like let's dibble into like some tags. I believe like this is a chance for some tag teams to stand out as well. Because if this is a change of moment, I think that's one of the main focus they need to focus on is that tag team division. But there's a chance that the Usos can stand out more, especially if they go on a route with Solo Sikoa joining them and they give that singles push to main event Us. It's a couple different routes. Like, I believe Dominic Mysterio, he might stand out. It looks like they've been teasing it, and I think it's only a matter of time before he finally say, forget it. I don't think he's going to turn on his dad, but I think it's going to be more of a thing like, basically he's going to turn his back on him, and his dad going to be like, it might be a thing of they jumping his dad, and he just sitting there with his back turned, not trying to look at it, or it's going to be a thing of he just like going to be ducking and dodging his dad, but hanging out with them. I don't know. They could go either way with this, but they be teasing it though, but if this heel turn might be the breakout moment for him, but they can go in different directions. There's so many people that could stand out. Finn Balor, he'd be one to stand out. Of course, Drew McIntyre. There's a chance that Sheamus can get back on the map. It's a lot of people. Riddle.
I was going to say Riddle as long as they don't shove the weed down our throats.
There's going to be Riddle going to be a mixture of him and RVD. That's how they're going to book him.
I like every one of those suggestions. I'm going to throw you guys a couple curveballs. I think with WWE Going TV-14, I think a lot of those people down there in NXT 2.0 might have a new lease on life, especially when they get caught up. My one, Salamander, my guy, Tony D'Angelo with the TV-14. I think with him being the Don of, I don't think so. With him being the Don of NXT, that'll immediately come up, and you'll still be able to, now with your TV-14, you'll be able to do more of those like Soprano storylines, Godfather storylines. And I think that's going to help them get over.
Like Razor Ramon, that's what's going to fuck them up.
They're going to book him like Razor Ramon.
His whole gimmick was based off of Scarface. And that's kind of like the same shit Tony D'Angelo is doing now. So they're going to fuck around and trying to book him something similar like that. And then it's going to throw people off because it's too similar. Especially with him no longer being here anymore. So it's going to be like, people's not going to feel it. So I think if he get caught up, he's going to have to go through a gimmick change. Just like once with I can't pronounce the name of the group, but it's all with an L.
Legado del Fantasma.
Yes, they gonna have to change their gimmick as well because they either gonna be a mixture of Lucha House Party, or a lot of people said they're gonna be minding them of Rey Mysterio because don't dude come out with a mask and then he take it off.
Yep. Yeah, about to say he don't wrestle in it though.
They're gonna say he's either a knockoff Andrade or he's a knockoff Rey Mysterio.
We had to see it. I think, I think Tony D'Angelo and I think Tony D'Angelo will do good on the main roster. I honestly don't even see them remotely calling up Legado, if I'm being honest. I don't see anywhere for them.
They go TV-14. They make it NXT 2.0 third brand, and they're gonna get this one right too. How they messed up with ECW, but I think they're gonna make that a third brand. But I say go back to Black and Gold if you do that.
I agree. We're getting ready to get up out of here. Just a couple more questions. We'll start with you, B Rex. Who do you think is going to be the surprise superstar of the TV-14 year?
Surprise superstar. I was just sitting here thinking who I would like to be. If they just get him right, man. I like the guy. I just don't think. I don't know. He can't get over. He did not booking him right. But anyway, Dolph Ziggler, man. If they could just get Dolph Ziggler to, I don't know. He got it, but it's just something about it. They just can't get him over. But he worked heel great. He does heel great. I would just like to see him flourish more. I really would.
Salamander.
I think it's going to be Ricochet. I've been high on Ricochet. I've been high on him for a long ass time, and I just think something like this in TV-14, I think it's a chance that he could really break free and everything. Because like some people can't talk, and I think the cause of people not being able to talk is the reason because it's TV-14. I mean, it's not TV-14, but PG-13. So they can't do certain stuff or it's just the gimmick that they have. Like that Nikki Ash shit, that's kiddie as fuck. The Bray Wyatt shit, the Firefly Funhouse, that was cool, but it was you could tell like
corny.
Yeah, you could tell with Bray he wanted to do something like something like that, but like Mr. Rogers, he wanted to go for it Mr. Rogers feel, but like a darker tone to it. I could tell that, but they had to keep it PG, which is why we got what we got and everything. But just imagine people gimmicks now. They don't do any gimmick changes, but just a darker twist to them if they can, or a more edgy twist to it if they can do it.
Okay. I'm gonna go Butch. I think Butch right now, as dumb as this gimmick is, I think he has the intensity to get it over. And I honestly like when he went missing. So I honestly think they're going to return him back to Pete Dunne if they go TV-14, and they're going to book him as just the guy who breaks people's fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Butch is going to be that, to me, the surprise of the TV WWE going back to TV-14. One last question, then we'll go ahead and get up out of here. Who do you think is going to have the least impact with WWE going TV-14? B-Rax, we'll start with you.
The least? Man. The least? Can I say Chad Gable?
Wow.
I don't really think Chad. I don't think Chad is gonna get over too much in this era. To me, they trying to. Well, I don't know if it's his gimmick. He wanted to do it or not, but it's like a Kurt Angle type gimmick. But I don't think it's only one Kurt Angle. Man, I don't think he'll be able to flourish. Him or Otis.
Salamander.
I don't think that Chad Gable, that's his fault. Anybody who wrestled for the Olympics is going to get that Kurt Angle gimmick in that sort of way. Because Jack Swagger had it. They gave it to anybody who got like this new dude, Gabe Stevenson. Ain't that his name?
Gable Stevenson.
Yeah, but he's going to get that same gimmick, I believe. I think it just comes with the territory. If you just wrestle for the Olympics, that's basically who you're gonna get. And everybody, just because we so familiar with Kurt Angle being the only gold medalist, that's just who we always compare it to. But I got a couple names. I got not Otis, but I got Omos. I got Shaggy, Shanky. I got Commander Aziz. I got Jinder Mahal. I got Akira Tozawa. I got the whole 24/7 crew. Like it's a lot of people who won't fit.
It's a lot of people.
I like
And
that
notice,
we're all. Go ahead, B-Rex. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, and notice back in the day too, when I can't. Back in the day, back in the '90s, it was like two really top stars, and that was The Rock and Stone Cold. And everybody else, they had stories, but it wasn't nothing touching like them two. So you gotta like really stand out and have a great storyline. That's just all I'm saying.
I was gonna say I like how we're all in agreement that Otis will not have an impact in this TV-14 because I just don't see it. I didn't like him when he was with Heavy Machinery. I didn't like him when they put him with Mandy Rose and they tried to get Dolph and the Miz to get him over. And I barely like him now that he's with Chad Gable. So I agree. He's not going to have that big of an impact.
Yeah. But
anything
I got a
else
before we head out of here. Today, as you guys seen on the news, I reported about Big E, right? And he made some comments. He was on TMZ Sports. He made some comments about him wrestling that had asked him how would he feel if he was never be able to wrestle again. And he basically said that he'd be fine if he's able to wrestle, and that he will also be content if he's not able to wrestle. So, my question to you guys is, if Big E is not able to wrestle again, what do you think he should do with wrestling? Do you think he should be more of a manager, go backstage and produce? Would you still keep him on screen, or would you move him behind the scenes?
If I'm Vince McMahon, I am telling Big E to go back to the University of Iowa and work on and help them get their football together. I want him to take a step back completely from wrestling because it's going to be too heartbreaking for him. Yeah, he might put on the front, say, yeah, it's fine, but that's going to be too heartbreaking for him. So I don't want him anywhere near the business. Go back to Iowa, help out there, get your mind right, and then come back. I want you to have a clear mind, clear heart, clear soul before you step foot back into the industry, at least working under my umbrella. If I'm Vince, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. I think Big E, his time was great on the mic. So I have him in commentary, if not anything else, or maybe managing, but at the least. But I think commentary would be good for him. He's good at talking and getting people excited. So yeah.
All right.
Well, all right. Anything else you gentlemen want to add, plug, say, statements?
Who wins at SummerSlam?
Austin Theory cashes in, and he wins without even having to bat an eyelash.
I don't think he's gonna cash in that soon. I think they're teasing it, which is the reason why they threw Dolph Ziggler on him. Because I think basically he's gonna go through a couple feuds first. But we're gonna get that, because I don't think Roman's gonna drop it this soon. But I think we're gonna get that feel where Edge first cashed in the Money in the Bank on John Cena, on a bloody beating John Cena at New Year's Revolution. After the chamber match, Edge came out and Vince McMahon announced the first cash in, and he came in, hit him with like 2 spears and was a rat. I think it's gonna be something like that. Like, I think he's gonna attempt to cash in, but Dolph Ziggler gonna be there and basically whoop his ass and shit. And then when he done with that Dolph Ziggler feud, it's gonna be another feud that's gonna result in him having to put his Money in the Bank on the line, and he's gonna defend it and win and keep it. And then it's gonna get to the point probably by the Royal Rumble. Roman gonna be in a match, and it's gonna be like a hectic match, and then that's when he's gonna have a successful cash in. And then whoever win the Rumble is going to face him at Mania, which will probably be Cody Rhodes.
I was gonna say real quick before we hand it over to you, B-Rax, for your opinion. They teased these Seth Rollins and Austin Theory on Monday. What if we get like a triple threat match where it's Cody, Seth, Roman, and Austin steals Seth's idea, cashes in at WrestleMania, but he still loses to Cody?
It could be.
But
Or it could be a thing where they put Seth and after Theory get done with Ziggler, it could be a thing where they put Seth and Theory together in the feud and they'll mess around and put the Money in the Bank on the line. That's how you put the Money in the Bank back on Seth, and Seth go 2 for 2 at Mania.
Could do that too. Go ahead, B-Rax.
So is Roman pinning Brock again?
Nah, this one is a last man standing match.
It's gonna be that's why they're gonna take
last man standing
right before.
So is Roman? He's like he gonna win again? Where is that putting Brock in?
Brock going home for a couple months. Brock is a guy that can lose, come back the next day, beat somebody ass, and then we'll still be like, oh yeah, he back. Like, he's one of the people that can lose and we won't be like, damn, he got buried and he got to start over.
Yeah.
Like, he can lose today and then tomorrow have a title shot and we'd be like, all right, that's cool. Like, we'd be mad, but then we'd be like, well, who gonna say something?
Right.
Yeah. But I think Roman gonna win. I think he gonna hit the submission hold where he gonna have the neck and he basically gonna put him to sleep for the 10 count.
I was about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if, let's just say, they're both very tired. Brock Lesnar goes, or Roman hits Brock with a spear. You know they're both about to be counted out for 10, but the Usos drag him out, or Paul Heyman drags him out, and he stands to his feet, breaking that 10 count.
I think it's gonna start with weapons. They ain't gonna start banging. They're probably gonna start with the Usos coming in and doing like the work first. Something like that. Any more questions, comments?
Oh, hold on before we get up out of here. Death Before Dishonor, Ring of Honor, July 23rd. FTR, Briscoes 2.
FTR. But Briscoes is not touching them titles. We already touched on this with that person from Time Warner who said we don't want them on our shit because of what they said. They not gonna be on there. They have to run the second match because the first one was so damn good, but they not touching them titles, bro. They ain't Impact for a reason.
B-Rax?
I'm just guessing on this because I'll be honest, I haven't been watching it.
It'd be a safe bet you can roll with FTR.
I was about to say FTR.
I was about to say, all you need to know is that FTR is a top 7 tag team of all time.
Okay.
And they're slowly inching their way into that top 5. But
that is a good question for next time. Who is the top 5 tag? But go ahead.
Hey, y'all heard it. We all heard it. That will be a discussion for a later topic. Mm-hmm. Salamander, anything else you want to plug before we get the hell out of here?
Yeah, just hit the like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell for daily wrestling videos.
You heard it here. Remember, everything that we do here, scratch that. We here at WBPTV, we love sports entertainment. We love it. We absolutely adore it. And it's going TV-14. But also, Salamander, everything that we do here, we do it for who?
We do it for the family.
There you go. We do it for the family.
I started with nothing and came out a king. I've been the one that's been ballin' for rings.
I've been the one that's been ballin' for rings.
It's been me and my team and we chasing the green.
Me and the team and we chasing the green.
My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free.
No ballin' for free, yeah.
My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free.